Hey, great Tuesday to each and every one of you. Excited that you chimed in to talk with Tillett again. As you know, we have been in conversation, teaching, and training regarding relationships. Been getting some great hits on it, and I appreciate you coming to me and even talking to me about how you want to continue doing so. And so today, I wanted to talk a little bit about disconnecting ourselves from certain relationships, certain people, creates the opportunity for phenomenal growth in your personal life. What do you mean by that? There are some friendships, some co-workers, some family members, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, that we need to disconnect ourselves from, because whether we believe it or not, they are draining us and tearing us down. Again, although we may not recognize that it's happening. Sometimes we're so connected to people that we can't see the decline that the relationship is bringing to us. But one thing that we can see, I think, is the outcome, and we never connect the two together. So we don't see growth. It seems that we're stagnant, that we're in the same place that we were a year or two ago. We're uncomfortable in the space that we're in, not satisfied, we're not happy, and we never connected with the people that we probably need to remove ourselves from. So you might be asking the question, what do I need to do to disconnect myself from people? And in instances when I may not even know that I need to do that, or that this person that I'm connected to is really pulling me down. I often say, and I will continue to say, that the closer you are, the more connected you are in your relationship with God, because that is the most important relationship that we ought have. Our relationship with God, our scripture reading and Bible study, our personal time that we spend with God and reading our Bible and studying, and the time that we go before God in prayer and meditate opens up a window or an avenue or an opportunity for God to minister to us, to give us the information that we need to help remove us from those spaces. I oftentimes think about how I got to the place that I'm in right now, and relationships and people that I was connected to along the way, growing up in San Diego, California, and ending up in the metropolis of Fayetteville, North Carolina. How the people that I was connected to weren't bad people, but we were heading, I believe, in different directions. And God spoke to me through my personal time with God, and God showed me that I needed to remove myself from those relationships. I think another thing that God did is God, I think, made me a little uncomfortable in some of those spaces that I was in, and it told me that I needed to move myself out of those spaces, although sometimes, like we do, we try to keep ourselves in those places. And so as God was ministering to me, showing me that it was time for me to move on, I was uncomfortable in some of those places, ready to transition, but maybe not ready to transition. I think the more that God revealed to me that I needed to do it, the stronger I became, and started to move away. Also, I would say, here's another one. I think that there were some people that disconnected themselves from me, and I was trying to find out, did I do something? Did I say something? But in essence, God was removing those folk from out of my sphere so that it would help me to grow and develop and to become more of what God purposed for me to become. And so I believe that that all of this has to do with God creating opportunities for tremendous growth and development in our lives. And until we make those disconnections, or we disconnect with those people, and sometimes places and things, we'll never experience everything that God has for us. And so as you are growing in grace, as you are developing and trying to become everything that God has called you to be, know that God will sometimes call you to remove yourself from some people, places, and situations to help you to maximize what He has placed inside of you. Again, here it is. We're talking about relationships. Again, sometimes you got to disconnect yourself so that you can experience the phenomenal growth that God has in store for you. Hey, that's my time. I'm grateful again that we had this opportunity to chat today as we continue dealing with relationships. And I pray that you receive something, that you pulled a piece of something out of this conversation that will help you become everything that God has called you to be. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you again next week when we have this conversation in Talk with Tillett. God bless you.